Hi, John Pisto. Welcome to Monterey's Cooking Pisto Style. Today, special treat for you again. Continuing on our Italian excursion that we went last year after we did our cruise. We went to Sicily and we spent a few days down there with friends and an Italian film crew. One of the places we're going to visit today is in Mondello, which is a little town, resort town outside of Palermo. And we're going to show you how to make couscous. Couscous, you're going to say, what the heck is couscous? Couscous is actually from North Africa. The Italians have adapted it to their own tastes, and instead of traditional dish, it's a national dish actually of all North Africa. Where it's normally served with lamb, we are going to serve it with fish. After the clip, I'm going to show you how to make it in your own kitchen. Okay? We're here now in the Don Giovanni restaurant in Mondello, famous for very, very fresh fish. They have tanks out here, they've got beautiful lobsters, they have fresh fish on the ice. However, this is one dish that I've been dying to try for years. We've had it in the United States many times, but I wanted to see the really origin of where it came from. Now, the dish I'm talking about is couscous. Now, couscous is North African. My friend here is from Tunisia, which of course is from North Africa. Now, this is a very particular dish. It starts with a semolina. Now, semolina, the Italians have made pasta out of semolina for years, right? Now, however, the North Africans have made a different dish. It's called couscous. And what they do is they mix this with oil and salt first. And this goes through 3 or 4 different steps. And he has to keep adding liquid to it, which makes it swell up, okay? And it's then the final stage is being steamed. This is what you end up with. Okay, now, after he's made the stock, he makes a fish stew, all right? Now, this is a fish stew. This has a combination of tomatoes, has a little zaffarana, a little saffron into it, a little hot pepper. You see this? Now, if you smell this, I mean, this is good enough to eat by itself, okay? Very, very rich, very concentrated, all right? Let me show you. You see, oh, if you can smell this, the onion, the garlic in it. Here, look, you see this? Look at that. It's delicious. Now, what he does is finish off the finished product. He puts a little bit inside the couscous. Now, this has already been cooked. The fish that has been poached in here is now transferred over to this plate. Okay? And now this is ready to be presented to the table. What do you think of that? Wasn't that interesting? Now, couscous is available. You can buy it. I think it's available all over the United States. Now, you know, you can make some nice salads with this too. It's called tabbouleh. But what we're going to do is we're going to make couscous with seafood. Okay? And what I've done is, let me get the stock going first, okay? If you notice, the chef there had a stock, so let's do that right away, and then we'll go on and talk about the couscous a little bit. So I'm just going to chop some onion, and let's put a little bit more, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And put some olive oil. Whoop, there's Joe. Tobacco, California olive oil. Now I heated this pan up, that's why it's smoking. It'll settle down in a minute. It's all right. I got that going pretty good. And we're going to chop some garlic up. Okay, just chop a few cloves of garlic. And that goes back. And I'm going to use some shallots because I want that special pronounced flavor. Okay, and let's put a little hot pepper, and let's put, I've got some fresh thyme. Okay, beautiful. Put that in there. We're going to do fresh parsley. I'm just going to throw it in there like that. And we'll stir it around. Let that cook just a little bit. That's enough. Just add some water to it. Oh, this is pretty hot. Be careful when you do this. I don't want anybody burning themselves up. Okay, we'll bring this back. Now, what I've got here is some fresh cod. You know, I went to Alaska recently, and we did a little fishing. And here's me on the boat, and I've got a piece of halibut. We were fishing in the Bay of Alaska, outside of Seward, and it's about 2 miles, or excuse me, 2 hours outside of Anchorage. And in fact, when we were there, 2 people got killed by a grizzly bear. I tell you, it's a jungle up there. Beautiful, but it's a jungle. But this is some of the fish I caught. Here's some of the halibut. This is a pretty good sized fish, you can see. Isn't it beautiful? We're going to use that because that's nice, has a good texture to it. Now this is some this is called true cod that we caught. And you see, I like this. I like my steaks, my fish steaked and not filleted because I like the bone. You know, just like meat. When you have a good steak, it's better when you have the bone. Now, if you remember, Giovanni's had, his sauce was on the red side. So let's add a little bit of wine. Let's put a little bit of salt. And if I tasted right, he also had some saffron in there. We'll put a little shot of saffron. And I saw bay leaf. And I forgot to put the celery. But it's okay. Let's put it in now. This is for a stock anyway. All right. We'll let that cook good. And I need a little bit of tomato sauce. And I'm going to use, don't use crushed tomatoes. Use a puree. Use tomato paste is okay too. I'm using this one because this is what I got in my house. And we're just going to color that. I would imagine they use tomato paste. Okay, let's let that come up to a boil. Let me taste it for salt. It's gonna need some salt. A good shot of black pepper. And if you remember, that was kind of on the spicy side. So this is cayenne pepper. Okay, and let's put a little bit of red pepper. Okay, and let's just drop our fish right in there. Now this fish I'm going to use just for the stock now. The main fish we're going to use is going to be the halibut. Okay, so let's let that continue to cook. And let's get to the couscous. Now, couscous. If you don't have one of these are couscous cooker. Better known as a couscousiera. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But I've had these. I love couscous, folks. And we cook it, I don't know, once a month maybe. Now, this is how it comes. You know, now couscous is a wheat product, okay? And it's a rolled product. Now, this is all over North Africa. This is the national dish. Now, there's a little work involved. Let's do this first. I'm going to put it in the strainer. Whoops. And put water so this will swell up. And make sure you use a strainer that the holes are smaller than the grain. Otherwise, you're going to end up with nothing. So put it in the strainer, soak it down real good, and let it soak for 15 minutes, and we'll be back. Okay? 20 minutes is up. You plop it in like this. Because now you got to fluff it up. And you use a fork, works the best. And this is where the couscous is going to get the nice grainy texture. And we're going to put about 2 cups of water. I'm going to separate these because this is going to have to be steamed again, folks. See, this'll, if you don't do this properly, what's gonna happen, when you eat this grain, it'll absorb every ounce of liquid in your stomach, and you will start drinking water like you won't believe, and you're gonna end up with a belly like me, because that stuff will just, it's like a sponge. And you have to let the grains completely absorb all the liquid. Otherwise, you'll never make this dish again, because you'll drink water like you won't believe. So what I'm doing now is trying to let it cool off a little bit. Now, I had some of these real good recipe, and you know, I like to make this with lamb. We do it with chicken. I have to admit, though, fish is my favorite. Okay, you're gonna see how nice this is it's gonna double. Now I've added milk to this before too, and butter. And the last one we'll add butter. I want to add some salt to this now, Joe. See if it's. See, what you do is you try to break up these lumps. I heard stories about how, you know, the old days, I think this is partially cooked, it's still hot. And, you know, they'd have to bring this up right from they'd get the raw durum wheat, and they would actually create these. I mean, it was a lot of work to make this dish. And there's a town in Sicily that's famous for this. Well, actually, there's two places I was told. One is called Santo Vido, and the other is called Trapani. And, you know, Sicily being so close to North Africa, they've kind of stole something from them, you know. Not stole, they've adapted it to their own tastes. See how much we got now? And it'll fluff up even bigger. See how beautiful that is? Cous Cous. You can smell the fish cooking. Now when you make the fish stock, you should use heads, because heads are going to give it all the flavor. Okay, that goes back on there. You know, let's do something a little different here. Let me get this out of the way. I want to, a knife. Let's do something a little different. I want to perfume this with, there's some lemon, and I put some basil. Yeah, that smells good. Let's let that, it'll infuse right into the couscous, okay? Another 15 minutes, we'll be back. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. Let's take it out. And we gotta do that one more time. Woohoo! Hot stuff. Now this time, instead of adding, we're gonna add half a cube of butter, 3/4 of a cube of butter, cube of butter. That'll taste delicious. Okay, and let's break it up again. And we'll just break it up, work the butter into it. Now, you know, it smells like the lemon. You know, from the lemon we put in the water, and the bay leaf comes right up. See, nobody said this was going to be an easy dish. It's easier to go to the restaurant and buy it. But you know, certain satisfaction of making it yourself, and especially to have friends around, kids around. That's when it's that's when cooking's an enjoyment and a relaxation. But I think this recipe that I got, I think it works better, and the grains of the couscous come out much lighter, and they're completely swelled out, so that you don't have any, it's not absorbent anymore, because it's already taken as much as it can take. See? Okay, we can do this. Now that's going to take about 20 minutes. But you know what we'll do now? Let's prepare the other, let's get the fish ready to go. Let me show you how we're going to do that. And what I want to do is move, I want to exchange this. I'll get this over here. And I'll bring this over here. Okay, so there's our stock. That's been boiling now for about an hour or so. Nice, and you want a nice strong fish stock. Like I said, use the heads. You can get a head, that's the best. Get a head, young man. Okay, pull the fish out. This is the fish we use for the stock, remember. So now we're going to use this as a poaching liquid. Let's put that over here. That's good. This, you can see that fish has a lot of gelatin in it. It's very gelatinous. So now what I'll do is okay, look at that meat. Isn't that beautiful? Look at this. It's gorgeous stuff. Okay, we'll drop that right in. I don't think I'll need the other one. We'll save this for something else later on tonight. Okay, now this will cook in about, I'd say 15 or 20 minutes. And then when we come back, we'll put this dish together and we'll serve it, okay? Okay, folks, this is the final. Let me get something. Now, we put the fish in. Fish is just about ready too. So we're gonna do the final fluffing. Boy, it smells good. The lemon coming through in there now. Okay. Whoa. All right. Boy, does that smell good. Jeez, the lemon really comes through strong. So you break up all that. See, just break it up. Spread it out. And I noticed they did this when I was over there. They just went along the edge. Like he pulled the oil. This smells incredible. The fish, the parsley. Saffron's coming through. I want to get all these bumps out. You just fluff it, fluff. Okay. Keep doing that. I know this fish is cooked. Okay, where's my beautiful dish? Look at that, folks. I'll tell you. Not bad. That looked good. Okay, let me remove this. And now we'll present the dish. What does that look? Oh, look at that fish. Fish is just falling off that bone. You remember how Giovanni was eating that? Okay, and then the juice would go in there. Let me get a little dish. And what you do is you spoon some of the juice, take a couple pieces of the fish. I'm gonna have to taste this, I'm afraid. I want some more juice. Look at that. Wow, is that delicate? Mmm. That is extremely delicate. The sauce is just... Mmm. From Palermo to you. Try this one, it's delicious. Okay, see you next time.